What is going on, everybody? It is the Digital Cypha Podcast. Welcome to the show. I am joined with my compadres, Dio Zales and the Don CJG. What is going on, guys?
Hello, good morning, my esteemed colleagues.
Hey guys, that intro.
Yes, esteemed colleagues, compadres. Yeah, you was talking Spanish a minute. You just got me in the mode. I don't, Puerto Rican black Crucian guy can't speak no Spanish at all. Listening to someone from New York who got Portuguese and Spanish in his blood and it's going off. Cool.
But that's just me. I'm just like,
You get there. I think there's a language
day.
that you know that we are yet to
yeah, sure.
find. What you guys been doing this week?
Oh man, it's been a bit of a quiet week for me. I can't lie to you, man. I haven't got around to playing too much. But there was one game I didn't mention last week, which I'd forgot about until after the show. I was like, oh yeah, I should have talked about that. That was, I played a few games, one of which was Omno. I don't know if you guys even know what that game is.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. 'Cause I got questions. Yeah, I got questions about that game when it was a trailer, but it still has a trailer out there. It sucked me in, but then when I started playing it, it just left me behind. I got fooled, but I could be wrong. I didn't put enough time. I didn't put enough time in a lot of games, bro. No. Anything else?
No. I played a bit of Back 4 Blood open beta. It's now open for the next 2 days. So anyone who's listening and hasn't played it yet, now's your chance. Get in.
Okay.
It comes out in about just under a month. I think October 12th. If I'm correct.
Hey, Dio, did we talk about Black 4 Blood last week?
Briefly, I think.
I think we touched it, and that was about it.
Okay. Oh, we'll get into that too, I guess. All right.
Let me look.
You was
Anything
killing
else?
Back 4 Blood. Yeah, you and
My
Greek was killing
profile. Yeah. Did I play any? Let me look at my recent games here. I played a bit of Human Fall Flat. That was alright.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was really kind of it for me, I think.
Okay.
I didn't really get around to much. This weekend's like my big gaming weekend.
Is it?
Catch up on all the things. Yeah, I've got a few games installed from Game Pass, so maybe have a catch-up session.
What games you got installed?
Some stuff like Art of Rally. There was
You
another
said
one.
Rally? Like the racing
Art of
game?
Rally. Yeah, Art of Rally. That was that indie racing game. What else we got?
That too.
Hades.
Okay.
80.
And there's another one I installed which I can't find on my list for some. Yeah, there's another one which I can't remember what it's called.
Okay. Yeah. While you look for that deal,
Yes.
how you been, dude?
Pretty good. Been busy with work, but gaming on the side.
Okay. Anything going on this week that caught your interest that we can add to our list?
Number one game of my week.
Okay.
Wayfront Dungeon.
No.
Yeah, it was good. I had to admit, like the story was out there, but I mean,
Yes,
That's
that
what
was
the
the
story
one.
was
That was
about.
the one I was going to say. Boyfriend Legend.
it actually has a good gameplay loop.
Yeah.
Interesting game design when it comes to progressing your character.
Mhm.
If
Well,
dating sim is not your kind of thing, it's still worth.
Before we get deep
All
into
right.
that, because we can go forever on that one.
Oh, yeah.
We wanna anything else? I know you touched on Hades, right?
Played Hades. I started playing the Diablo 2 beta.
Okay.
Back 4 Blood. Of course, we were playing that.
Right.
I checked in on, this is a game that's been out for a while, since 2017. Citadel Forge with Fire. It's pretty much like Ark and Minecraft in that survival aspect, but with magic and dragons. I remember playing it back then and wasn't very impressed. It had cool ideas, but it was still not developed yet. It's still in early access.
Okay.
But
Is it
since then, it's
paid Early
It is.
access.
It's a $40 game. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's made a lot of progress. It still needs a lot more work to it, but it's
Hmm.
for people who like that kind of game. It might be up their alley to support it and hopefully get more support from the devs into it because they've been adding more and more stuff since 2017, which is more than I can say for a lot of other Kickstarter games and early
Yes.
access games. So
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Well, so on my end, man, I've been, oh gosh, I haven't had the time, bro. So, for those who don't know, I kind of run my own business, and a special software kind of crash within the solutions that run everything. Like you have these, like every business have these nuggets, if you will, these gears that spins that makes things move, right? So one of those special gears decided to act funny. I had about 20 accounts, and 15 of those accounts got deleted, like automatically off the rip. So like a lot of websites went down, like deleted websites. So I spent about 2 weeks. It started, no, it started last, no, it started the week before last week. But this whole week was about DNSs and everything. So my life has been that. What I have been doing though, in between time, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of slack on, not slack, but people might say some, like I'm not actually playing a game, but I was playing Fight Simulator, right?
Oh yeah.
And then I would you know fly the plane off the runway. Once I leave the runway, I would intentionally go for 3 hours and in autopilot. And then do what I gotta do as far as fixing the issues and stuff, and then land the plane manually. That has been the thing for this past week. Waking up in the morning, flight simulator, stare at the TV, get my eyes adjusted to the light and everything. So yeah, that was what it was. But this week we had 2 events.
Yep.
We had the Nintendo Direct, and then we had the ID at Xbox event. The ID at Xbox was hosted by, of course, the ID at Xbox and Twitch Gaming, and of course Nintendo
that
Direct.
beautiful
is by
combo.
Nintendo. Yeah. So, what did you guys think?
Yeah,
Deep
you know,
breaths,
it was
guys, deep
very
breaths.
similar to the last one. Well, when I saw it was going to be hosted by Twitch again, I think, it makes sense in terms of viewership. But it just kind of had that same format again, where I just wasn't really a big fan of this whole influencer thing hosting it, and it just got a bit, I don't know. It wasn't bad, but I wouldn't say, it exceeded my expectations, but I wasn't really going to be blown away by what I was seeing. That's
Mhm.
fine.
Any games came
Yeah.
out you?
Oh, there was one, but I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But it was like a stealth ninja game.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember the name of it.
Akarami, I think it was.
Yeah, it was something. Yeah, it was like Armagari, something like that. It was like,
I'm laughing because
It's like the second one,
because
right?
Dio has his perspective on it. We might as well jump in
really?
on that, right? Yeah, let's go.
Well,
Dio.
I mean, Don probably never played the first one. That's why.
Origami 2, that's what it was. Yeah,
Did
I've
you
not
play-
played the first one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's and the thing about it too is, like, I was thinking, hey, maybe they did some extra work to it so that it has that nice fluidity, because it the game, the trailer kind of hints at stealth, and it reminds me of Tenchu, Tenchu stealth type, but the actual game doesn't. The first one didn't allude to it like that, and if it does the same thing, I think it's playing on my emotions, because I'm a Tenchu Z fan, like hard Tenchu Z fan. Like if there's not Tenchu Z, then there's Ninja Gaiden, like period.
Yeah.
So I think they're messing with my emotions on the ninja aspect of things, because Origami 2 did not deliver replay value for me. The first.
You mean the first one?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
first one. So I'm hoping that the second one definitely lives up to the hype that they're assuming that it has with this trailer. What came at you with this trailer that makes you interested in getting it? Just the stealth action?
Yeah, well, I think I haven't really seen a stealth game I've been interested in a long time since the slow death of Assassin's Creed.
What?
And the lack of Splinter Cell and all that. So it's something different, and it looks kind of ninja-y to me, at least especially the cover art. He looks very ninja-y, and we don't really have a ninja game what I've played and liked on Xbox. So
okay.
I knew I was gonna trigger my.
You gotta say what generation. You gotta say what generation. You can't say on Xbox without saying what generation.
Throughout my time.
What is your time, sir?
Yeah, but he said that he likes to play though at Bonix.
Yeah.
Yeah, but has he tried Ninja Gaiden Black?
I haven't.
But even then, it's not Ninja Gaiden is not a stealthy game.
No, but it's action and it's 100% Don CJG.
But yeah, but he's looking for a stealthy ninja type game, like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
The only other one will be Tenchu Z, which I
or Sekiro.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, Sekiro.
Isn't Sekiro like just painful?
Well, it depends. It's. Go ahead, D.
It depends on how you play it. Like I'll say definitely the boss fights are, but you can handle the regular people throughout the level as stealthily as you want, and it rewards you for being very stealthful. But for the boss fights, for the most part, you can get like an opener on them, and it will take a lot of damage, but you won't be able to like one shot a boss before you start the fight.
Yeah,
I'll say that when you kill someone in stealth, it's more satisfying than actually fighting them head on. In Sekiro, it's when you fight them head on, they're kind of like crying babies. They make noise, and those noise alert other people, and then you're kind of like you have to run away now because you couldn't test your skills on one person like Nanda, and then another guy like oh, the guy just comes in, with two other guys coming in at you. Like there's a section in the game where I'm not sure. Have you played it, Dio? Have you tried a little bit of it?
Yeah, I got up to like maybe the second or third boss. It's definitely a great game. It's just that
requires great skill and ability.
It definitely does. It's just that I got kind of
burnt.
I'm the kind of person I need like progression in the game, where I get kind of bored.
Yeah.
I need like that progression loop somehow, and it does have it, but not enough of it for me to keep me interested.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to get through the game because the story seemed pretty cool.
But Don, you haven't even seen the trailer for that game, huh?
The ninja,
No.
what, Origami?
No, the
It's Sekiro.
Sekiro.
No,
All right.
but I've heard the bosses are just hell. And
Okay, forget about
with
the
my
bosses.
experience with my experience with Dark Souls, that's already.
Forget about the bosses. Forget about the
I
bosses.
can't forget about the bosses because I'm gonna have to fight them.
Yeah, you
'Cause-
can't. Yeah.
But okay. Well, the reason why I'm saying forget about the bosses is because if you're the kind of guy who's a perfectionist, you're gonna look at the skill tree and you're gonna try to like get the proper skills to then attack the bosses, if you will. Like Dio, I don't think Dark Souls has skill trees, right?
It doesn't have skill trees, but you can still increase the stats of your character, and there's different armor sets and weapons throughout the game that will change your gameplay style. So it still has a way of progressing your character in a way that keeps it interesting. So like if you don't like playing like with a slow heavy two-hander, there are like slower faster daggers out there that you can get. And there's wands, there's bows, there's all kinds of different ways to play the game.
Gotcha.
That keep it interesting.
It's because my thing about it is I hate bosses. I hate bosses on the level of Sekiro, right? And I've only beaten one boss out of countless
You're telling me
playthroughs.
forget about these bosses?
I'm saying, but my thing about it is this: like, the game is very satisfying in its gameplay loop, as far as how you fight, how you interact with the enemies that are not bosses. Like, those are satisfying. You know what I mean? So that it then propels you to try the boss. You know, because it's not like it's you know that kind of game that you'll play that if you didn't defeat it the first time, you have that second chance to just go at it again, but then get stronger and come back to it. Those are the type of games I like, because it's kind of like you're not pigeonholed into being a certain way up to the boss. Like you can like grind the first level for the boss, and then you get so strong that you probably can take on the second and third boss. But your fourth boss requires more grinding. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what I like about Sekiro, is that
like that too.
Yeah, like you can, you know, once you hit the save point, you can fast travel back to your first to like the temple, and then run again, run the same enemies again, and get XP to upgrade your levels, and you get better combat styles, to be honest. So it's worth a try. I'm not saying you should do it because it is up your alley. I can't tell you that, but it's worth a try.
Is it on Game Pass?
No.
No, it's not.
Ben, I will not give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't pay like $40 or $60 just to try it out.
Yeah.
It should have been.
If it's on Game Pass, I'd give it a shot.
It should have been. From software, it should have been on Game Pass, but Game Pass wasn't what it was back then either.
Hey, if it ever comes in, you let me know.
Okay.
And I'll give it a shot.
Both of you guys talked about Boyfriend Dungeon. Now, I got completely freaked out when my solar started talking to me. So so I was like,
I mean, if that freaked you out, it only goes weirder from there, because all the swords and weapons that you get throughout the game are all trying to date you. Because this is a dating sim dungeon crawler, and most of the weapons are males. And I mean, it makes sense it's called Boyfriend Dungeon, so it's definitely steered towards females and probably like gay guys, as opposed to straight males. There are some options, I guess. There's like one girl that you get as a weapon, and one non-binary.
What is she, like the daggers or something?
Yes, the dagger. Yeah.
I gotta find her.
Yeah. But it honestly, like, for the gameplay loop itself and the progression system, it's done very well. And I'm assuming this is their first game. I know it was a Kickstarter game. It gives me pretty high hopes. It kind of reminds me of Bastion. Like that's the first game that the people who made Hades made.
Yeah.
I think they have a lot of room to grow, and if this is their first game, like, wow, they did a good job. Especially considering, I mean, I'm not crazy about like the source material, but if they can make other games in the same style but better with different kind of storylines and everything like that, it's gonna be really awesome. The soundtrack was pretty cool too.
I just can't get over me running with a sword, and the guy's like, "Oh yes, you killed that enemy with finesse."
Oh, dude, if you think he's uncomfortable, second sword you get. That dude that you're talking about, he is pretty. Like, you could play the game with him, and like I said, like, the point of this is for them to hit on you and you hit on them, and make a relationship. But with him, you could have a platonic relationship and not get too weird. Where the second sword you get is aggressive as all hell, and he will make you super uncomfortable if that guy made you uncomfortable.
I can't wait to play this game now. I can't wait.
You have to play it. It's really, it actually is a lot of fun.
Ridiculous. Yeah, this is the thing. I've heard about this game for a while, and I've heard it's super fun.
Yeah, I beat it on my first day, so that's another thing. It's not a very long game. And once you beat it, there's not really much else to do. But I think that, with DLC and stuff like that, I would hope that they would eventually launch. I think it's a good game. And I mean, even if you had to buy it, it's $20. I
mean, when you look at the world map, is it expandable? Do you see signs of expandability with the map that your character runs around? Like when you had to go to the mall the first time.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's a lot of buildings you end up going to with the different people you meet in the game, and then not only that, there's like roadblocks that could easily be opened up if they wanted to expand the map even more.
Oh man, let's not go into the sewers. That's gonna be a whole different experience.
No, not yet. I haven't seen that yet.
All right. So I tried Hades, but I know Dio is going through Hades even up until now. Like,
Yeah.
how is that game?
I mean, I loved it on the Switch. I got pretty close to beating the game. I eventually stopped because, I mean, I could have obviously played the Switch on my dock mode and play on the TV, but I usually don't. That's not what I use the Switch for. I use it more for like on the go and like when I'm chilling out. But to play it on the big screen on my Series X just feels so good. So I'm definitely gonna complete it this time. It's just a beautiful. Every game that this man, who makes Hades again? I feel so bad that I keep forgetting their name because every game they make is just a masterpiece. But
I'll find out.
yeah, it's just so good. Like Super Giant Games, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, like Bastion, Transistor, they're all really good games. Beautiful art styles, great music. I mean, people buy the soundtracks of these games just because the music is so good.
So,
So
I mean,
definitely a game I can recommend.
is it true to its roguelike gameplay, or does it define rogue in its own way?
I mean, it does it in its own way for sure because it's kind of going like I don't want to say Diablo, but like the action RPG route mixed with roguelike, which is kind of a natural way to go. But like I would say like for action RPG games, like just like Dead Cells did it perfectly for side scroller platformers for roguelikes. This is like honestly like the perfect way for a roguelike to do a dungeon crawler. It just feels natural, feels really good. So you're gonna have tons of like hours to play this if you don't mind dying a lot, because that's gonna be part of the gameplay loop is dying.
Yes, I've heard.
Who would this game be for? Like, if you thought of appropriate audience, like who would you say that this game would be for? Like, hands down, they would buy it day one, or people who would even try it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, people who don't get frustrated dying in a game. Definitely the people who enjoy like Dark Souls and other games where like death is expected, right? Not like where you feel like if you're one of those people who feel like you should never die in a game or else you're bad, like no, like that's the wrong mentality to have in this game. Yeah, because you're going to die.
I refuse. I will not die.
He says that now. We'll talk to him next week.
I can assure you.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely gonna get better at the game and start dying less, but it's always just gonna keep happening as the game keeps progressing. And it doesn't feel bad, it just feels bad when you had that mentality and you don't want to let go of it. If you can let go of that mentality, it's definitely very enjoyable. I think really the first game to get me out of that was Dead Cells.
Okay.
Because I definitely had that mindset. Like if I died in a PvE game, it's like I'm bad. Because PvE games to me are designed for you to win, right? Like you shouldn't lose. Like if you die in PvP, it makes sense. Someone's better than you, or someone caught you off guard or whatever. But in PvE, it's like, of course I should win because it's designed for you to win. But that's like the wrong mentality to have.
It's like playing Skyrim and you get destroyed by the dragon.
Yeah, you shouldn't die in Skyrim. Like if you die in Skyrim, then you are bad.
You straight up said it. Oh no.
So for the Xbox, idea Xbox. I know how Dio feels about this one, but I didn't really pay attention to the idea Xbox last time, so I kind of gravitated to like to Ollie Ollie World because of its cartoon like skateboarding like
Ollie
feel.
Ollie World.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, I got down with Tony Hawk.
Tony Hack?
I said hack. Don't ask me why, dude. Like,
You think Tony Hawk's a hack?
no, bro. But I got back in 360 days, it was like one of the good games was Tony Hawk, and there are some other skating games as well.
Oh yeah.
So this one is kind of like drawing back to that because this looks pretty cool, actually. and then Aeon Drive. Aeon Drive kind of is like a fast-paced side scroller, like like a sword ninja dude, like really going fast. Kind of reminds me of some of the old school Nintendo Sega games.
Yep.
But
That one was pretty cool because it had 4-player co-op and PvP.
Exactly, yeah. So I don't know how I'll survive on that one. Yeah. What do you guys think about the? I know how you guys think about that show in general, but what other games came out to you, like as far as, hey, I wouldn't mind downloading this game?
Oh, I don't think enough of them were that memorable for me, to be honest.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 2 other games that besides Aeon Drive, because Aeon Drive definitely caught my interest.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was RPG Time: The Legend of Wright.
RPG Time.
It was, it was pretty cool to me because it brought me back, like just watching the trailer, it brought me back to math class in like high school where I would not pay attention in class and I would draw comics and storylines, and this literally looked like that. It looked like some kid who's stuck in some boring class and he's drawing out a story, and that's what you're doing. You're playing the game as this kid's drawing it, and your character's progressing in an RPG.
Is that the one where the kid, there's a dude and he has like a giant sword or something?
Yes.
And
Yep.
he's just gotcha. And that's
I thought that
player,
looked
right?
really cool. I'm assuming it's a single player. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It looked like it to me, but I like the art style of it. I think it kind of reminded me almost like of Comic Zone in a way. I don't know if you guys remember that from Sega Genesis, but that was more of a
before my
platformer.
time.
Yeah, that's before your time. Thanks, Don. But it kind of gave me that vibe. You know, you don't see too many of these, like, not that you don't see too many hand-drawn games, but you don't see a lot of these games where they kind of like break the fourth wall, where like you see that hand start drawing the comic and stuff like that so much anymore.
Gotcha.
So I thought that was pretty interesting and unique. Where there was another game that was looked like it had a hand-drawn style called Inked: A Tale of Love.
Yes, that's one I was trying to think of while you were saying the hand-drawn thing. I was like, what's that game?
Okay.
Yeah, Inked. That was an interesting looking one.
Yeah, it looked gorgeous. Like, I'm not really into puzzle games so much. Not that I don't like solving puzzles, but I need like some combat in a game to keep me interested, no matter what type of game it is. Like even racing games and sports games. Like if there's some kind of killing or fighting, I could get into it, right? But with this, even though there was all these puzzles and everything, the art style just looks so beautiful. Like the cross hatching and the drawing and everything. Like I really liked how it looked. I don't know if I would get it, but if it's on Game Pass, I'll definitely give it a try.
Yeah, well, this is kind of my thing with the whole show. It's like if it's on Game Pass, I'll give it a shot. Why not?
Yeah,
but
true.
But if it's not, I'm like, nope.
But the RPG, Legend of Wright, and Aeon Drive, I can see myself buying those even if they weren't on Game Pass. The one game though that stood out to me for the wrong reasons was The Veil: Shadows of the Crown.
Yeah. Did you find out what the gameplay was?
No, I haven't. I gotta look it up, but just that clip that they showed in ID at Xbox was just so bizarre to me because it's literally like a little clip saying, "This is the greatest game of all time. This is gonna be amazing. This is out the box."
I think they had like Game Informer quotes or something stupid like that.
GameSpot, all these different places.
But no gameplay. Just
you mean the least reliable?
Yeah, you know, so it's no gameplay, it's just literally a bunch of quotes, and then like in the fog and stars, and then you see like the title of the game with a drawing of a female, and that's it. And it's like, okay, maybe this could be good, but this seems like a huge gamble. This is like literally the only game in the whole showcase that presented the game this way. I know that they did have a little dev talk, but I'm not watching this to listen to the devs, especially if there's no gameplay showing. They even had a nerve while the dev is talking for just looping that same clip. I'm not even gonna say gameplay clip, like that same clip of
the dev didn't have any other game clips to show, just that trailer. Unfortunately, maybe it was so top secret he couldn't show anything at all.
I guess, but then don't even let us see it. You know what I mean? Like I just don't get that, because that's another thing too. Like if it's that secret, how did all these people play it and already claiming that it's such an awesome game?
You know, box office.
I don't know, man.
For games.
That really bothered me. Like, I just couldn't believe that they did that. I thought that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen on an Xbox showing.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I hope it's good because that would probably be a game that's up my alley because it seems like it's supposed to be a role-playing game.
Yeah.
But I had no idea what to think. I had nothing to go off of besides a bunch of quotes.
Okay, let's see. So other than those, so that's just Aeon Drive and Legend of Right, RPG Time. That's yours deal, right?
Yeah, RPG Time and Aeon Drive for sure. I would definitely get, and Inked I would definitely be trying when it goes on Game Pass.
Gotcha. Okay, so next to that, I think this week, Nintendo Direct also was aired. I think it was more of a YouTube thing though.
Yeah, until you said that, I didn't even know it happened.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm so out of tune with like anything Nintendo or PlayStation. I just don't see it.
Dio, what came out as a potential game for you for Nintendo Direct?
There was not that I would actually. I don't want to say I don't want to make it sound like these games are bad. There was nothing that I knew I would personally play or care to play, but I thought these 3 games looked cool. But like the only way I would play them probably if they were on sale or if they eventually came to Game Pass. The first one was Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, which reminded me a lot of Jet Set Radio. Did you guys ever play that game?
Yeah, you just took that right off my paper right now.
I've not played it, but I've only heard good things about it. Jet Set Radio.
It reminded me so much of that, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it's timed exclusive too.
Exactly. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna come to Xbox eventually, and it looks cool. Like it looks like a cool game. I like Jet Set Radio. I had a lot of fun playing it. I just wonder how unique this will actually feel.
It looks like they wanted to make like Jet Set Radio 2, but they couldn't call it Jet Set Radio. So
Yeah.
This game, that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, exactly. But it seems like also like it had a different, and this is just a short clip, but I have a feeling it's gonna have a more diverse like library of music, where Jet Set Radio was kind of all like the same kind of like punk. Like it's been such a long time. I think it was like punk rock they were playing back then, and like no, it had pretty diverse music actually. Now that I think about it, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, it just looked like a newer version of that. I'm hoping it's gonna be good, and I do hope it comes to Xbox. I mean, I can play it on my Switch, but I know I'd rather play it on my Xbox. But Loop Hero looked pretty cool. I don't know if you let that look good.
I don't remember Loop Hero.
So that one, you're not playing as the hero. It's like you're kind of playing as the dungeon master. So the map is there, and you're creating paths for the hero to grow, and you're dropping like power-ups in that hero's path, and hopefully by you guiding them the right way, they'll be able to defeat the monsters in their way and the boss.
That's interesting.
And I thought that was a pretty unique gameplay.
Yeah, that's a really cool concept.
Yeah. So I could definitely see myself playing
what
that.
game did something like that. There was another game that
one
had a similar concept.
I don't know if it was timed exclusive or not. I would have to look that up. But it definitely looked really, really interesting. If they do it the right way, this could probably be like a whole new genre of like a game, like where people are just gonna be all about it. It is on Steam. It looks like. So I had to like look at the reviews for it. I didn't know it was on Steam. So is The Veil. I'm downloading the demo of it right now.
Hey, there we go.
It actually has very positive reviews, Loop Hero, so that's pretty cool. It's good to know. And then the last one was Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon. When I first saw it, I was thinking, okay, come on, dude. Like, you're doing a typical thing that most games do. Like, you have a very successful game, and now it's time for you to make some puzzle game. No, they're not. Well, I mean, they already kind of have, right? Like, it's on pretty much every console.
That is true.
But which I don't really mind if it's done the right way. But
Mm-hmm.
this was just like, I looked at it and I was like, oh, this is just Shovel Knight Tetris. But then when I was really
Oh.
looking at the gameplay of it, it's not so much as Shovel Knight Tetris, because you're still going through a dungeon while you're playing, but you're also playing Tetris, like, well, not Tetris, but I would say more like Dr. Mario at the same time. It's weird. It looks very unique and very cool. Because you're still getting power-ups and you're still, I don't think you're leveling up your character, but you are making your character stronger throughout it, and you're still fighting at the same time. It's so cool how they're doing it. Like, you would definitely have to watch at least the clip of that, because that's definitely going to be on Xbox eventually, because Shovel Knight's everywhere.
Yeah,
That is true. Yeah. I think they gave out with Games of Gold not too long ago.
I believe so, yeah.
Hmm.
Pretty sure. So those were the top 3 ones from Nintendo that I enjoyed, that I thought would look cool. The rest were like, a lot of them were like things I've seen already from like previous Nintendo indies or previous like ID at Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand why they do it, to show people the updates and see what the progression they're making on making the game, which is good. But I hate when you watch it and you really don't see anything new. Like you like can tell this is literally the
Like
same
anything-
clip they showed last time. Yeah.
Got you. Don CJG.
Hello. That is me.
The Don CJG. Omni.
Omno. Yes.
Omno. It's Omno. I said Omni. I wrote Omni. That's why I said.
I've seen some people call it OMNO. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is it?
Yeah, I think a lot of more people say that more than the actual
Mm-hmm.
Omno. But what are your thoughts about it? Like, how did you feel about Omno as a Game Pass game? Free to play with your subscription. Trailer came out and it was received as like, yeah, you should definitely get this, whatever. Like, I mean, it wasn't that hyped, but it was like one of the hyped games.
It was an interesting little thing what they showed, right?
Yeah.
And I remember seeing the trailer for it in the last event.
I felt
It's like,
compelled to play it.
Yeah, it looked really cool, and I was like, all right, I didn't know it was out until I saw a video on YouTube. I was like, okay, cool, I'll jump in and get it. I've enjoyed my time with it. I wouldn't particularly say it's what I expected. It's alright. It's quite a relaxing little like fun game. But I think, I don't know if you know this, or I don't know how many people actually know this, but this game was literally, I think, made by one guy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, wow. Oh yeah, you're right.
So
Oh,
yeah. So I think it's reasonable to set an expectation of how far this game's gonna go. But again, there's other games. What was it? The Ascent, maybe by 12 people or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously it's only one guy, but yeah, for what the game is, it's alright. It's quite. I don't know how to describe it, to be honest. But you kind of go through these worlds, and I don't remember the early levels so much because I'm a bit further into the game now. But there's some puzzles and they get a bit complicated, not too crazy, but they're interesting. You got some bit of platforming in there. But you kind of got this open space and you kind of go through it and you collect items, and then you go, once you get everything, you go to the next level, and it's kind of the same thing but on a grander scale.
Yeah.
So it's not a complex game by any means. It's relatively simple, but I think it's a great artistic game.
Okay.
I totally missed that game. I'm downloading it now.
Yeah, it's alright. It's fun.
Yeah,
It's fun.
I'm looking at a clip of it right now. It really reminds me of like Banjo-Kazooie, Mario 64, like those old platformers.
Yeah, it's not too complicated, but it's not super simple where it's just brain dead. So it's alright.
Yeah, it has
It's
a nice
alright.
art style.
It's solid, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, it has very good reception on Steam. Very positive
Yeah.
reviews.
yeah. This is the thing. I haven't heard anyone particularly hate it. No one
Yeah.
hates it. But yeah, it's alright. It's I believe it's an easy 100% achievement. So I'll be working my way
okay.
towards that too.
Okay. Cool.
An achievement.
Yeah, you know, if anyone wants to give me the guy a game, just make sure it's an easy completion. I'll do it. That's how you get me on board.
What did you think of Back for Blood?
Back for Blood. Oof. I like Back for Blood, man. I do. I did read an article earlier, not too long ago, about an hour ago before the show started. The devs were going to address some of the issues what people had with it. So it's quite nice that they're kind of already taking feedback on board. But yeah, I'm excited. I've been enjoying it. It's you know, like I believe I said last week, but you know, it's really bringing back some of the Left 4 Dead 2 memories for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember, you know, none of us could afford to buy Left 4 Dead, so we all played the demo together. Because you know, the demo had multiplayer and it wasn't like a closed beta or anything. It's just available all the time. Okay. So we just play that, and you know, it's really kind of re-invoking those memories. And you know, I was playing a bit more today, and it's, you know, it's not a lot going on in the beta at the minute. You know what I mean? I think it's one, I believe they called runs, which is like a set of missions, I guess, and then that's it. But it's alright.
Since you played the beta, right? And you've had history with the franchise. Well, I would say with the people who created the game, right? Their franchise, I'm assuming. What were your takeaways, and what if you could make the game better, like based on your previous experiences, right? Like, what would you like to see in the game? Like, because it's the beta, of course, so it's gonna go gold anyway at some point in time.
I believe it's already gone gold now, you know.
So if you could make an adjustment, what would that be?
God, if I can make an adjustment, I think it just needs a bit more kind of tightness with some of the shooting. It feels very gosh, I don't know how to describe it necessarily, but it's very snappy aim. Kind of reminds me of the Call of Duty campaigns when, you know, you click the left trigger to aim in and you really just kind of snap to a target.
Yeah.
So
that's how I've been surviving.
Yeah, it's a bit jarring at first. I can't lie. Like when I first played, I was like, this aiming is horrible. I did not like it at all. But spending some time in, you know, I did adjust, and since then I've been fine. I've heard some people also say that, you know, graphically the game isn't outstanding.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Which, you know, yeah, I don't wrong. It's not a bad looking game. You know what I mean?
It's not.
But you know, it's not. I think a lot of people have the expectation it's gonna be groundbreaking, next gen, you know, amazing looking, you know, ray tracer, big marketing words, and you know, obviously the game's not that. But you know, it's fine in reality. I'm sure they could sharpen up a little bit, but I don't know how old this beta is, so maybe some of that's already been done for all I know.
I thought the game looked pretty good. I agree. Honestly, in my opinion, and I've always felt this way about game design in general, I feel like when it comes to art style, when you go for like super realism, it never ages well. But you still want it to be somewhat stylized, even if you're going for that realistic look. And I think they hit the nail. Like I think it looks good. It looks realistic enough to look real, but it has enough of a stylized form that this should age very well. You know?
Oh, for sure, so, man. But that's what I think games like, you know, Halo 3, Halo Reach, you know, it stylizes art style. That's why they look so good even now.
Exactly.
You know, Halo 3 is almost 20 years. It's, you know, it's coming up in a couple of years, 20 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and the game still looks good. Obviously, you know, it's got some 4K and HDR now, thanks to Series X and all that. But, you know, it looks good. You know, I wouldn't say it holds up, you know, at close range, you know, when you're looking at walls and whatnot, but it doesn't look bad by any means.
Exactly. It's bearable. You know, especially for these spoiled kids who have all this crazy stuff now, who've never seen these games before.
Right, and you go back to like Call of Duty Ghosts, and the game just looks ass. It just looks horrible. And to be fair, it already looked horrible when it came out, but you know, that's another conversation.
The one thing that really got me about Back 4 Blood was the monsters. I really dislike how slow they are.
You mean in PvP?
Yeah, they was stupid slow. Like,
yeah, I've not tried much PvP at all.
Oh, really?
I like PvP.
PvP was
Yeah,
cool.
I need to jump into that tonight. Okay.
PvP is very cool.
All right, we gotta do it together then.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
After the show, let's hit it.
Because me and Ebonics were playing PvP and we had fun with it. At least I feel like we had fun with it.
We have fun.
My only problem with
imagine
PvP.
Marcus was like, no, I hate it.
No.
Yeah, right.
No,
Like, nah,
no,
dude, it was trash.
bro. The monsters were trash as far as speed is concerned. But like, I felt like because here's the thing: when you're a human, you have like options of what weapons to use. When you're a monster, you have options based on what that monster can do.
Yeah.
And it just felt like it was just a loop, right? Like, swing your arms.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
I think the original Left 4 Dead had that same kind of issue too, to be honest.
the monsters didn't have like a sense of. I guess that's good because it's PvP. You don't want monsters to be able to do combos on a human being.
I guess they didn't want them to be too strong because I mean, as a monster, you have like infinite lives, right? Where if you're a human, you die, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they kind of have to balance that part out, I think.
Yeah, I believe that you still gotta be part of the zombie horde, and
Yeah.
you don't want to look like some just
But
OP
it still
beast.
didn't make sense though, because when you die and you're in ghost mode, bro, you can run. You can run around the map twice before it's time to get in, and then once you're in, as you're alive as a beast, as a zombie, right? Then you're like super slow as heck. You're barely moving, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So you have to jump.
No, you are definitely very slow.
You have to jump just to get a little bit of inch more into your stride to get to the enemy. While they got bullets, they killing you with bullets.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. That just didn't jive well with me being an enemy. I think I'll leave that to. If I had the choice, I'll say, okay, Dio, you on your own with being an enemy, and I'll be the human, and then we just go at it all day. Like, he tries to kill me, I try to kill him, type of thing. Because that's kind of like where I am. That's the only thing about PvP that did not go well was.
Yeah, well, I've always felt like PvP's kind of been the shortcoming with these kind of games. I don't feel like it's ever really worked particularly amazing. It's not bad, but it's not. Especially when you compare it to other games, PvP. I don't know, say Doom Eternal PvP, which is kind of same kind of idea, right? You got the monsters and then the human with the guns, and it's just never really sit too right. But I think those kind of game modes are a bit one-sided.
Yeah, but I mean, that's kind of like what happens when you could always see what the focus of the game really is, right? Like, is PvE really the focus, and PvP pretty much like to be in the mini game, right?
Yeah.
I would say the only thing I would really change for PvP, and this is just a personal thing, this is not something that I think is wrong. I think for the most part, they got PvP right. I definitely understand your problem with like the monsters being slow, but I think that's just a balancing thing.
Yeah.
But what they do in this game is that you play one match as a survivor, or I think they call them cleaners, and then you play one match as I can't remember the name of the zombies in it, but and you just keep taking turns like that throughout the matches until someone wins. And I would rather, and I understand why they're probably doing it, because they're hoping that it won't leave PvP unbalanced, where more people were queuing for this side than the other side, and then the game becomes dead, because that does happen to some PvP games. But I would just rather, like, if I want to play zombies, I want to queue as a zombie. Like, I'm the opposite of Bonnie. Bonnie wants to play the humans because they do feel more fleshed out. They do feel better. But I want to get better at the zombies. I want to keep playing the zombies until I become a master at it. I don't want to waste my time playing as a human, because I had no interest in playing as a human.
Well, here's an interesting question. Obviously, I haven't delved too much into PvP, but how you got your card system? Is there any cards as a monster?
Yes.
That might help you. Okay.
Yeah. Because
I wonder if there's stuff that might make you move quicker.
Well, no. You can increase your strength, like armor.
Yeah.
You can increase how many zombies, like the little people who goes running around, I guess. Yeah. Little zombies go around. You can increase the numbers based on, like, what is it, like experience points or whatever. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So the more damage you do and other things you do as a zombie give you more points to upgrade either your zombie class or the horde. And it's pretty much like a roguelike during a PvP match. So that it's interesting in that respect, but just like a roguelike, it gets completely wiped out in the next match.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad system they have going on, but the survivors definitely have an edge because they have cards that are pretty much guaranteed. You know what I mean? Where
Oh yeah, and you can stack a lot of cards, man.
yeah,
You really can.
especially if you have a group of players that you're playing with and you guys could play off of each other. Like, hey, you bring this card for the group, I'll bring this card for the group, and you, or however it works. Like, the math behind it is definitely going to be pretty crazy. I'm just hoping that they don't microtransaction the cards at some point, because I could see that. But from my understanding, it's supposed to be just cosmetic that they're gonna go for.
Yeah,
But
I think that's a wise choice.
yeah, I really hope it stays at that point, but you never know. Like that kind of stuff does kind of happen sometimes. But we'll see. Like overall, though, the PvP was a lot of fun. Like as much as I just want to queue as a zombie, it kept me playing.
That is true. That's the one thing about it. Like the missions kind of felt it got boring over time because
The PvE.
The PvE, yeah, the missions and the PvE is just like from here to here, and then you just like fighting your way through to get to the entrance all the time.
I think that's what it's always been. I think the problem with that now is just with the beta, we've only got the one set of missions.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a bit, it does get a bit stale.
I mean, me and Dio did this one joint where I it's the same part where you were kind of, when I was watching your stream, you was getting kind of, yeah, dude, it was, that was a struggle because.
You know what it is? The thing is, because I had this issue earlier as well when I was playing, because the bots suck. If your team quit and you only have bots in your team, it's impossible. But that's why it's one of the things that the devs addressed. They said, yeah, they're gonna tighten up the bots to make them a bit better because people are really frustrated with. Because I was playing earlier and everyone quit, and I was like, well, it's over.
And the bots, they should have been protecting you for, or charging or putting the charges where they needed to go, and they were so concerned about the zombies the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like we have objectives, but
yeah. I was telling the Bonics, like, to me, the easy work around that would be, like, if, like, you had the 4 charges, right, because they're meant for 4 players to put. If you don't have 4 players, if you have 3 players, make it 3 charges. If it's 2 players, 2 charges. I think that would be the better balance,
Yeah, I'd like to see just more objectives in general as well, too, to be fair.
Yeah, I also don't know if maybe this is something I missed, but I didn't see, like, a way to solo queue, because I'm sure there's, no matter what, there's people who are going to want to play by themselves. And I could imagine someone who only wants bots to play with them being super frustrated with stuff like that, So I would really want them to change it to, like, 1 charge or 1 objective as opposed to 4, for those players out there.
So bad. I'm telling you. Like, I will find a way that all the zombies are going towards my bots. As long as I I'm telling you, dude.
Overall, it's definitely going to be a great game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's going to be alright.
Excited for it.
For me, it's an alright game.
Guys, is it October 12th? Is that what it is?
Yeah, exactly. It's October 12th. So
2 months, right?
If it runs this smooth at this point on the beta and everything, it's going to be the people who love the Left 4 Dead series are going to be happy with this. And I think that's the most important thing.
Especially because it's been
fans are going to be happy.
So long.
Yeah.
I think it's been long overdue at this point.
Very.
So long overdue, and it's just a fun, relaxed game. There's some depth to it, but it's not too crazy, and I could see myself getting lost in there, as long as Halo Infinite doesn't come out before it, and then.
Yeah, I think once Halo Infinite comes out, we're all gonna be kind of stuck on that. What's up with Bonix?
Can you talk to us about Diablo 2? Yeah, since you got the only invite to the closed beta without giving out spoilers, because you can't,
Well, I mean, it's an old game, dude. They're like, people who are interested in Diablo 2 know by now. But
of course, but I'm assuming that you did sign like some form of NDA for the beta, right?
No, I believe you can stream it if you wanted to right now.
Okay.
Even though it's like a closed beta. Yeah, but it's it's done like this is how a remaster should be done. Honestly, like it plays and looks like the old game, but when I say that, it doesn't have the same old graphics. Like it's new graphics, but like you feel like it has that atmosphere. Like it hasn't gone away. It doesn't feel like a completely new game. Like what did you guys do to my game that I loved? Like, and trust me, this game never played on a console before, so this is the first time it's ever been on console, and it feels good on the console. Like I was expecting, like okay, it'll probably be okay, but it'll probably still feel like, man, I should play this on the PC. I was like, no, like this plays well. It did a good job of it. Like it makes me like really look at games like Diablo 3 and Path of Exile, and I'm like, man, like where have we gone? Like like I'm not trying to take away from those games. Those games are good games, but man, the atmosphere in this game, like between the music, that's still really good. This remaster is pretty good. I'm not trying to upsell it, like saying, oh, if you've never played Diablo 2, you need to get it. It's gonna be like the next big game. Everyone's gonna play it. Like, no, I mean, I think there's still gonna be a lot of people who play it and are gonna think it's very slow, because that's what combat was back then. But overall, for the faithfulness of the game, it's so good. I watched the movie scene, and it's funny because I'm watching this movie scene. I'm like, wow, like it's just this, they left the movie scene alone. Like they didn't change it. I'm like, this is really good. And then I was like, hold up a minute, let me watch the old one on YouTube. And I watched the old one on YouTube, like, oh, they actually really redid it. It's just that it was so faithful to it that it had the same feel. It looks so much better graphically. The movie scene is so good.
Oh, really?
Like there's actually a comparison on GameSpot, where they have it side by side, and you can see how much better it looks. But that tone and that atmosphere, like, and like the darkness of it is just so good. Like they just captured it completely. I think this was man, they're the same people who did the remake for the Crash Bandicoot. Damn, I can't believe they're slipping through my mind.
That sounds like a song.
But they did a great job of this, and it's kind of funny seeing Vicarious Visions. That's who did the remake.
Okay.
They're like a smaller part of Activision, and it's interesting to see someone who had nothing to do with Blizzard do such a great job with this remaster, as opposed to looking at something like the remake of Warcraft 3 Reforged, that was complete garbage when it was done by the remake was done by Blizzard themselves. Like this was given a lot of care and detail and attention. Like it's good. If someone's a Diablo 2 fan and they don't want to play it on their PC, and it is on the PC, it's on every platform. It's on every platform. It's gonna have cross play and cross progression also, unlike Diablo 3. Yeah, it's they've gone all out with this game. It's gonna be really
good, man. I feel like something like this, you need to go all in, right? You can't just half-ass it.
Oh yeah. And I mean, you can play with all your friends. You have up to like I think 8 players that you can play together, like go dungeon delving together. Definitely gonna be a lot of fun. So I would definitely recommend it to people who like dungeon crawlers, or people who played the original Diablo 1 or 2. Like for sure, you want to play this again.
I mean, if it's like anything like Minecraft Dungeons, I could be into it.
Yeah, honestly, it's definitely similar. This is definitely like the roots. This is like if without this Diablo, I mean, Minecraft Dungeons wouldn't be around, but it's definitely a darker, grittier one. Like if you like Minecraft Dungeons, you could enjoy this. Then you'll have more control over your build, because your character actually, when they level up, you're controlling their stats and their talent points to gain other skills. So like your gear is making you stronger, but it's not dictating your build. It's actually just gear.
So it kind of reminds me of a mix between Minecraft Dungeons and the Ascent.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll definitely have a lot of fun with this if you're into it.
Okay. So outside of the ID at Xbox and Nintendo Direct, we have Gamescom that is coming up. Gamescom will be on the 26th of this month up until the 29th.
26th?
Yeah.
I thought it was 24th. Am I crazy?
I think it's the 26th. Actually, I could be wrong. Stand by. 1 second. 1 second.
I think it's 24 because I think a Destiny event is happening at the exact same time.
A Destiny event?
Yeah, I think they're revealing the new DLC.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say they have their own like Destiny convention.
I think it's Destiny Con, right? Is it Destiny Con or something like that?
Guardian Con, I think.
Guardian Con. There you go.
Gamescom, August 24th.
I never knew that. Okay. They had that many fans. Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's a lot of conspiracies. People saying, you know, is Destiny gonna be in like an Xbox showcase or whatever or something? Who knows? So could be.
So when looking at it, it starts on the 25th, Wednesday, the 25th, to Friday, the 27th. That's 2 weeks from now. That's the week after next week, Wednesday. And they have a little something. Let's see their timeline. The timeline shows on so on the 23rd they have DevCom, content focused days. And then on Wednesday they have the opening night live.
Here we go.
And then
Tuesday the 24th is when Xbox streams.
Xbox streams? Okay.
That's on the 24th, their Gamescom stream. That might be what I'm confusing it with.
He just went straight to Xbox, bro. I guess we truly an Xbox channel. I was over here trying to read what's going on Gamescom. He's like Xbox.
We are a digital Xbox podcast.
Yeah. So it's basically the week, not just from Wednesday. It's that entire week from the 23rd over to the 27th.
Yeah, it's like mini E3 basically, huh?
Pretty much. I mean, it should be. It's Gamescom. You might as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it would be cool like every quarter, which is every 4 months. I would like to see it that way. Like 3 times a year. You have Gamescom, you have E3, and then you have whatever Jeff Keighley runs, the awards.
Yeah.
Hey, hey.
Whatever that guy does.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I said, I have this problem. I got this problem, and my colleagues kind of, they called me out on it. They didn't get offended by it, but they were like, dude, you said it, and you said it without a hitch. It was almost ridiculous, right? Because I do IT at work, and so my colleague was like, hey, I went to this place, I tried to resolve the problem with this printer. The printer did not, let me just say it did not comply to his wishes, right? It didn't get fixed. So within 2 seconds, I said, don't worry, we'll send a qualified tech.
Damn. Wow.
And then everybody basically said what you said. And then I thought about it. And then I was like, oh, well, what I meant was we'll send somebody who's kind of more proficient at with the printers. You know what I'm saying? And the guy was like, it's not you're not helping, bro. Like no matter what you said, it hurts. It's done.
Ooh.
And then I think it was last week or earlier this week, they were making fun of it, right? What I was saying, but something else came up. Oh no, they were talking about fully qualified domains, and I says, yeah, we need to use that for fully qualified text. And they're like, yeah, you think I'm done? You think I'm still, I'm healed, but I'm not. I'm not. Proper tech? What? We sent, so yeah, that was
savage.
Yeah, bro. I have those moments, man, and it's not that it's intentional. It's just my brain doesn't give me the right words, right? So I try to assign a different word that kind of tells me, like, gives me an idea of what makes sense, because I can't say the right word. Like, you see how I'm stuttering right now? I would have came up with a different word, but it would have offended somebody because I didn't have the right word. So it is what it is. But yeah, Gamescom and what is the name? Gamescom and QuakeCon. QuakeCon is on
Yes. Oh yeah, Quake.
the 19th to the 21st.
That was some spicy rumors about QuakeCon.
Oh really? What have you heard?
There was I can't remember what a document came. I think it was a QuakeCon document. It was like a I can't remember the word either. I'm looking for now. It's kind of like a schedule for the event, right?
I did not influence you, sir.
There was one part, and I think it's now been like redacted, but someone used like the Wayback Machine to go back and find what it said.
Really?
And it was and it was
wait, hold on. How could they use the Wayback Machine when it wasn't even the cache? The cache does like it, you know how long it takes. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, there's a big wasp coming at me.
Oh.
Yo,
it's outside and his window's closed and he's still making noise.
No, the window was open, dude. I had to close it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so
I can't remember the exact word for it.
Okay.
But it was I think they were taking one of the guys from Digital Foundry on. They were taking one of the guys from id Software or Machine Games.
Okay.
And Machine Games are involved in this. Like they were talking about a new Quake game.
Yep.
Basically. So it looks like there's gonna be a new Quake game coming up, which does make sense because I believe Doom's on a bit of a hiatus right now.
Wouldn't it be like a remaster than an actual complete?
Yes, I believe by the sounds of it, it could be a remaster. I think that's probably more logical at the minute too.
Yeah, to bring people back into Quake is because I mean, what was the last one like back in like
God, I don't even
4 or 5 maybe? I'm not sure.
Somewhere around that, yeah. It was a while ago.
One for like 360. This is the last one I played.
Wow.
This is why I'm so surprised QuakeCon still exists.
Yeah, it's just a name,
like,
though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to do something. You know, probably the numbers went down to a point where they say, "Hey, QuakeCon needs to continue to thrive." That's their money-making thing right there, outside of the game itself. So they might as well. You know?
Yeah.
You know what's interesting though? The community that should have a con is Final Fantasy. I'm surprised they don't have one.
Fantasy Con?
Well, the Final Fantasy 14 has its own, right?
Does it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it does.
It does it?
Yeah, Final Fantasy 14 has one.
Dedicated to a singular game in a franchise.
Yeah, literally for Final Fantasy 14.
That's kind of loud.
Square Enix itself, I'm not sure if they have one for Square Enix, but Final Fantasy 14 definitely has one. Remember that's when God, I'm so bad with my name.
LunarCon. Yeah, that's what it's called. Hey, look at that.
Yeah.
Created by fans for fans. An in-game convention for Final Fantasy XIV to say goodbye to Shadowbringers and celebrate the new expansion, Endwalker. LunarCon at a glance. Special guest and all these people.
That's crazy.
It's
That's
interesting.
crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's an
But
MMO, so it makes sense.
Yeah, but I saw that schedule too for QuakeCon. If it's true, it's just kind of weird because most of the stuff there was like Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Online.
Really?
I mean, there was stuff for Doom Eternal also, and like other like stuff. I think like Deathloop had like some showings on there too.
Mm-hmm.
But a big chunk of it was Fallout 76. They're like really trying to push that game.
Well, yeah, well, it's on the recovery
though.
path,
It's gotten a lot better, you know.
Yeah,
So-
this is the thing. I feel they kind of messed up that original launch, and
Yeah.
you know, they I think it's smart, right? I think they're trying to do a Rainbow Six with it, the Siege. They're just
for
trying
sure.
to, you know, put time into the game, make it better, and it'll pick up eventually. And I think, especially considering the, I don't want to say controversy, but I feel like Fallout 4 was a lot less well received than the other
for
games
sure.
in that franchise. So I think 76 now is their kind of way to keep people within that Fallout franchise about making another mainline game.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a lot to fix the game, and I know ever since it's been on Game Pass, it's just made a ton of money. I mean, it's honestly a pretty quality game. I mean, people could meme and shame it to death or whatever, but until you play it again to where it currently stands, because I mean, even how it launched, I mean, don't get me wrong, I was kind of hyped and I was hoping for more, but it wasn't a bad game as it launched, like terrible, but because of the fact that they overpromised
Yeah.
and oversold a lot of stuff, and people were already hyped because they were pretty much assuming this was going to be the game to end all games kind of thing, you know.
Hashtag Cyberpunk.
Yeah, right. Like, well, yeah, on a different level because this is like a multiplayer game, you know. So this is something you can play with your friends, and yeah, it's definitely gotten a lot better. I mean, same thing like Elder Scrolls Online. I mean, when Elder Scrolls Online first came out, like, it was not well received, especially not on the PC version.
Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, we have reached the end of our show, man.
Sadly.
Wow.
Sadly. When we thought we had nothing to talk about, we had more than enough. It's been a dry week.
Yeah.
What, you still had some stuff?
Well, we don't have to go over, but like I still had some
I mean,
stuff.
there's always more stuff.
What you got in the bag?
Oh,
you want to wait
I got a bag full of stuff.
I mean, these are not
when's
really
game? When's our next episode? We're on the 14th now, so it'll be the 21st. Right before Gamescom.
Right before Gamescom.
Well, actually, during QuakeCon.
During QuakeCon.
Yeah, QuakeCon starts on the 19th and ends on the 21st.
Yeah, I feel like I could save mine for next week.
It'll
be a bit more relevant next week. I got some Gamescom speculation, but we're a bit far out, so
okay. What about you, Don? Don. Dio. I keep saying Don. Dio.
Well, this one is not huge news, but it's kind of something that could affect certain people. Like, obviously Skyrim is a huge game. I mean, everyone knows what Skyrim is, even if you're not into
What's
it. Their Nexus, which is pretty much where the modders go to like link their mods. Yeah, they've had some terms of service changes, and a lot of modders are pretty upset with it. Now, for someone who's not a modder, it might be like, well, that's not a big deal, but I could understand the modder's perspective because they put a lot of work into these mods without pay.
Try to monetize it, right?
Yeah, for the most part. Well, it's not that they're trying to monetize it. What they're doing right now is that now modders have less freedom to delete their mods. Like once they put them out there, they stay out there. Where now they could delete them, you know, whenever they want. So a lot of modders are kind of upset about it because, you know, a lot of them are perfectionists. They want to make sure that they had the best mod out there when they put it out there, because for some of these people, they do make money off of it, but it's not a salary.
It's their reputation.
Made by reputation and, you know, donations they get from other players.
Right.
So they want to always make sure they're putting like the best foot forward. So this kind of hurts them in that respect. I'm sure there's going to be a way for them to reach out to Bethesda, but in, you know, any kind of way with that, like, it's always going to be an extra step of the process that's just going to delay it and make it, you know, in a way worse, because now you have to make sure people who are trying to download your mods know, hey, this is the newest, you know, version, play this one, don't play this old one, I'm still trying to get it deleted. I understand why Bethesda's doing it in a way as a publisher, because they don't want to face the same problem like Blizzard, right? I'll use them as an example, where you have Dota, which became a huge and big popular game and its own IP and made, you know, millions of dollars, and Blizzard gets none of that. And this is not the same exact thing, but this is like steps towards that to make sure. I mean, I haven't read the terms of service exactly. The main thing I know to take away from this is that they don't have the power to delete the mods anymore. But I'm sure this all goes towards making sure Bethesda, if any money gets made off of these, it's in their realm, you know.
I mean, they are holding. How can I put it? When you mod, you are putting it on a platform that is not your own. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, you know, at least there's store shelf, you know, fee or something that should be kicked back to the devs of the game for just allowing you to mod their game. You know, so for instance, are we kind of also talking about like Skyrim and stuff like that, the mods on PC?
Yeah, so these are mostly going to affect PC players, but I mean, there are mods for the Xbox One,
right?
You know,
I mean, they carry over. If you just can't mod on console.
There's, well, you can't mod on the console, but they are separate mods. These modders will actually make specific ones just for the Xbox.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's quite a lot on there, man. It's
Yes.
tons.
Yep. So like, one of the bigger modders area, like her, like this is like what she said, from a preservation perspective, it is good to have your work available at all times. So she likes the fact that it's always going to be there, but it also violates your privacy and takes away from any control that your mods may have had over the author's work in the first instance. So I get that perspective as well. I think overall, it's a good thing. I do feel for them where, how is this gonna, affect them in the long term? Hopefully they can get a system working with Bethesda where it's not too invasive.
Yeah, but there's a middle ground what needs to be met there, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've been thinking about modding myself. But
Yeah, it's a cool community to be part of.
cool.
I mean, look at it. Skyrim's how old it is, and people are still modding. And
Someone
making
should
money
make
for that.
a boyfriend dungeon Skyrim mod.
Hey.
With all your swords.
Hey.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then install it on Ivanix's Xbox.
Hey.
That's a great idea.
Hey. This is a public announcement channel. We don't put secrets out there.
Exactly.
We don't put secrets out there that can generate us money. Whatever Don just said does not exist, and we don't intend to cause any issues with Skyrim. So, you didn't hear anything. You didn't hear nothing. Look into my eyes. Yeah, man, it's been a great show, guys. Next week, QuakeCon is going to be coming, I guess, online, YouTube, all these other platforms, and we'll probably be talking about that as well. So until then, again, thank you for joining the Digital Cypha Podcast. If you enjoy the show, definitely like and subscribe so you'll know when we go live. Again, that's Saturday at 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. British Standard Time.
3 p.m.
3 p.m. Oh wait, you don't want to miss it. 3 p.m. British Standard Time, and that's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
All right, so
Whoever
this
time
is
zone figure it out.
bro.
Yeah.
Bro.
Basically,
again,
an hour and 20 minutes ago.
All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys.
Yes,
Signing out.
definitely. You too.
Thanks, guys.